One of my favorite ones was, this was forever ago. We're going to a friend's house, and it was a 4-flight walk up. And so 4 flights, obviously I walk faster than Nick, and I used to wait for him, but we've just been friends too long. I can't. We're like an old married couple. I'm just gone. So I knew where we were going, and I knew that he did not. So I leave him, and I go into my buddy's apartment. I was like, Nick doesn't know where you live. So that's fun, you know, just see what happens. About 30 minutes go by. Nick finally comes into the apartment, and I asked him, I was like, where were you? He goes, I didn't know where to go. And I go, I know. So, like, I mean, you've been gone for a long time. You know, did you go back outside? He goes, I've been in someone else's apartment all this time. He went into someone's, that he was just trying handles. And the door opened, he walked in, said, I'm with Nate, and went and sat on their couch. That's how far he made it. Think about where your couch is. That's how deep he made it into their place. And he's so confident, I mean, they had to be like, I don't know, maybe we know a Nate, you know? The final update, that's what this next, the special after this is going to be just just all updates. And it'll be something that you don't even know. You're like, remember my car didn't start? You're like, who is this update for? I like to drink iced coffee with milk. And thank you. I told a story. I went into a Starbucks inside a Target. I ordered iced coffee with milk, and the guy gave me milk with ice in it. I did not want milk with ice. I wanted iced coffee with milk, and he heard milk with ice. I have learned that a lot of people do drink milk with ice. People send me pictures all the time of adults just drinking milk with ice, and they stay in the Starbucks. They don't even like run to their car like, this is so embarrassing, I gotta stop doing it. Like, they do it openly. My wife puts ice in our daughter's milk, and I was like, oh, you do that because of and she's not a big fan of my comedy, so she was like, I haven't seen it. I was like, we have Netflix, you know, and she's like, I don't think we do. I was like, I know we do. And she was like, I'm just so busy right now. So all of it's true, except my wife. My wife does like my comedy. She's very nice to me. But all the rest of it's true. And the truth of it, too, is it's happened to me twice. And let me tell you, one time is a lot of times. The second time, you start looking at yourself. You start thinking, you're like, what am I doing? I don't know if I know how to order. I would order it in a mirror to see what it looked. I was like, iced coffee with milk. I was just trying to see what they would see. I thought it was happening. There was a third time I thought it was happening. I was at a Starbucks at an airport, and she put the drink down, and I was like, they're doing this on purpose. I was convinced that they're just calling each other, like, let's drive this guy crazy. But she just put too much milk into it. It was an honest mistake. And she told me, because she set the drink down, and we're both just staring at it. And she just goes, that feels like a lot of milk, doesn't it? I was like, not as much as usual, but it does feel. So I've changed my drink up since then, and I honestly did it because I don't think I say milk good. I was having this one problem, and I was like, I'm just not gonna say milk. So now I drink iced coffee with cream. That's all I changed it to. I'm tired of saying milk. That's all. They kept giving me milk with ice. So I was like, I'm gonna say cream, you know? They can't do cream with ice. That's against the law. So I'll get rid of the one problem that I had. And I've only been drinking coffee for maybe 4 years. Not very long. I only order this one little drink. I get very nervous when I order coffee because it's a whole world, and I don't know the world, you know? They always ask you a bunch of stuff. They're like, what kind of cream? I'm like, just please do it. Just do it. You know? Sometimes they're like, do you want heavy cream or half and half? And I'll go, I'm sorry, I'm not taking questions right now. So if you could just do whatever you think it is, and if it's wrong, I won't even tell you. How about I will walk out of here as if that's exactly what I ordered. I will go outside, I will throw it away, and go try again in a different Starbucks. That's how I'll handle the entire... That's why I think they have so many Starbucks, so you can just keep going. Someone's got to get it. I have to get my wife's coffee. She has to text me what she wants because I don't know how to pronounce like most of the words there. So I just phone. I go, she wants this. And they're like, does she want it in Sweden? I'm like, guess we have to call her now, don't we? And I make them talk to her. I go, talk to a stranger's wife. Say what you said to me. Have you ever been to a Starbucks like inside? Like if you go inside and there's like a big long line and you'll be waiting and they try to take your order before you're even to the front? Like you'll be in the back, they're like, what do you want? You're like, oh, I would like to wait till I get right in front of you. Yeah, you know, did you see how everybody looked at me when you said that? I didn't care for that. So how about we do it like a regular, normal business, you know? And you let me do it right in front of you. Starbucks is like waving cars down on the street. Just be like, we're just trying to get your order started in case you ever come here one day. I have a daughter, and my daughter's name is Harper. So a lot of people ask, they're like, oh, did you name her after Harper Lee, the author of To Kill a Mockingbird? And, you know, I've never thought about an author a day in my life. So that never me. I mean, my middle name's Lee, and just never crossed my mind. I love having a kid. I love when kids cry. It's just innocent. I love how innocent it is. They cry over a tag in their shirt. And I mean, they're all just, they don't like, it feels weird. And then, I mean, if you walk, you like, is your house on fire? Like, I've never seen someone cry this much. It's over nothing. She's on her iPad a lot. You know, that's the hard part. You got to get these kids off. Or you don't want technology all the time. She just sits there on her iPad. She wants to be a YouTuber, which as a comedian makes me furious. She watches all these kid YouTube videos, and now she makes her own videos. It's just her sitting there going, hey guys, what's going on? Click the links below, subscribe, leave a comment. None of this is anywhere but my phone. I got 90 hours of this, not on YouTube. Me and him are the only subscribers. Just watches kids playing with toys, too. Like, that's what's crazy. It's not like a show. I'd be fine if she watched a show. She watches just a kid that's like, hey, you don't have this toy? I do. You want to see me open it? It's got 5 billion views. It looks like we buy her nothing. Like we just show her, if you want to watch a kid have fun, but you're never going to have fun in this house. I've been doing these drive-in shows, these movie theater shows, and my buddy Nick Novicki's been with me, and Nick's a little person, very fun. We started comedy together. It's very fun to be friends with. He very easy to trick. We were once at a coffee shop, and I was sitting near us with a big husky dog. And Nick just goes, hey, you think that's a wolf? And I just said, yeah, I do think it's a wolf. They just passed a law that if you can catch a wolf, you can have it as a pet. And he goes, should I go ask him about it? I was like, I mean, absolutely. You know, I mean, he wants to talk about it. That's why he brought that wolf out here. And I watched him walk over to him and just go, excuse me, is that a wolf? And the guy, I mean, he didn't really know how to answer it. He said, what? I mean, you think I brought a wild wolf to this coffee shop? And the wolf's just being cool about it? It's not losing its mind right now? People always talk to me very easy, too. Or, like, if I talk to a stranger, I can always feel it. And I think it's my eyes. I have big eyes, you know? And so I just get a lot of like, you still with me, man? And I'm just sitting there like, yeah, I mean, I'm listening. He goes, all right, I don't feel like you could have been anywhere, you know? I got a reversible jacket at home and I have them because I didn't know it was reversible. Bought them at the same time. Tried them both on separately. Like the black one, thought might as well get one too. Went and laid them up there, and I remember they go, are you sure? I go, yeah, I think I know what I'm doing here, right? Well, even though I make fun of Common Core, I have learned stuff from elementary homework, which is embarrassing. I'm 41, my daughter's 8. Nothing should ever come out of her mouth that I'm like, what? What was that? When to use a or an in a sentence. I mean, I didn't know that there was a rule in play. I thought you felt it out, you know? You just go, that feels right, and that's what you do. I do the same thing with a comma. If I never known where a comma's supposed to go. I feel a comma's coming, I try to get out of that sentence so bad. I mean, and if I can't, I just put a comma and see if someone says something, you know? If they're like, is that a comma? I'm like, isn't my comma button has been sticking on my phone. Put 3 men in that room. 2 of those men will fight that orangutan. The other one would have started it going, I think y'all should fight that orangutan. So guys get in there, and they're like, all right, we'll go fight this orangutan. And the orangutan would just knock everybody out. Because we don't have the internet to look up how strong's an orangutan. It's all word of mouth back then. You had to meet a guy that just fought an orangutan. And you're like, but the arms are skinny. He's like, I know. That's what made me get in there as well. So PETA put a stop to that also. Yeah. Look, whatever you want to say about PETA, they did some real work in the 1900s. Put 3 men in that room. 2 of those men will fight that orangutan. The other one would have started it going, I think y'all should fight that orangutan. So guys get in there, and they're like, all right, we'll go fight this orangutan. And the orangutan would just knock everybody out. Because we don't have the internet to look up how strong's an orangutan. It's all word of mouth back then. You had to meet a guy that just fought an orangutan. And you're like, but the arms are skinny. He's like, I know. That's what made me get in there as well. So PETA put a stop to that also. Yeah. Look, whatever you want to say about PETA, they did some real work in the 1900s. Like, we have 1 dog. I would like another dog. My wife does not want another dog because it's a lot. It's a lot to have 2 dogs because you got to open the back door and let 2 dogs out. Then you shut it. And now they're out there. You're inside, not dealing with it. But then they want to come back and you're like, gotta go let all these dogs back in. You're like, 1 dog, 2, look at all these dogs everywhere. Look, to be honest, I've never taken care of the 1 dog we have, but 2 would be fun. Our dog sleeps in our bed, and someone told me you're not supposed to do that because you lose dominance over the dog. And I asked him, I said, what year do you think it is? These are all doodles. They're barely dogs. It's a person. They're people. This guy acts like it's 1980 when you kept the dog outside all year. Those you needed dominance over. You had a wolf in the backyard. Friends come over. You want to go outside? I wouldn't. Hotels are getting futuristic. A lot of hotels, when I stay at, now when you take a shower, they have half a glass. So it's open. so the water gets on the floor. Because that's the future. They want water on the floor. And I'm old and dumb. We really try to keep the water inside the tub. It was a pretty big deal. But now, they want the floors wet. That's what they want. They want to do no glass, but I'm still alive, so they're like, all right, do half a glass. Once that guy's gone, we'll do no glass. Floors are wet, drains off the balcony. I remember I would fall out of a bunk bed. I slept in a bunk bed. I was on a bunk, and I would get over a railing and just fall 6 feet to the ground and just land. You don't catch yourself. It's just whatever hits first. All your body weight just lands on your head. I got a full-blown concussion. I'm crying. My parents are like, just go back to a deep sleep for 7 hours. I've had concussions in my life, and none of them because of sports. Just living life, man, Stuff happens to your head. What are you going to do? One was in high school. I got pushed into a wall head first. It took them 3 class periods to figure out I had a concussion. That's how much I was bringing to the table. 2 teachers didn't even notice. And the third one was like, he wasn't forward. And that's when I realized he's one of the better facer forwards I've ever had. So I knew. My biggest concussion was when I was 12 years old. I fell down. I grew up in Old Hickory, Tennessee, and we used to climb down this cliff into Old Hickory Lake, and we'd done it a ton of times. And so one day I slip and fall. So my friend that I'm with, he goes and gets my mom. They were fishing in a boat down in the lake, and so he sees me and he gets me into the boat. And he takes me over to some stairs, which he had to be like, why didn't he just use these stairs? They were right next to that cliff. It didn't even make sense. There was 2 guys at the bottom of the steps, and he goes, hey, this kid fell. Can you carry him up? So they carry me up, and my mom's in an ambulance in her pajamas. My dad, who I think everybody knows now is a magician, and he's doing a show in a full tuxedo. So when they get to the hospital, the doctor starts talking to my parents. My mom looks homeless. My dad's in a tuxedo. It looks like they're divorced and someone's not paying child support. So we have never known who was in the boat or the guys that carried me up those stairs. We've never known who it was. And we always wanted to thank them. Those guys truly saved my life. And we could just never find out who it was. So we've never known. So I tell you that to tell you, last year, my dad he's doing a show. He does these magic shows in prisons. So he's doing a show in a prison. And during the show, one of the inmates just stands up and says, I know your son. Which is probably not the best place as a father to hear that. Just like, I know your boy. He keeps his mouth shut. He's good people. So my dad, he goes, hey, he's like, all right. He goes, how do you know my son? And he was one of the guys that carried me up those stairs that day. I promise, I was 12 years old, and we've never known who carried me up those stairs. And it was him and his brother. And then his brother saw me on the Tonight Show and was like, that's that kid that we carried up those stairs that day. So pretty crazy. And so since then, I've been actually bringing him out to shows. Bringing him out tonight. And no, he's not here. He's in prison. But yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Look, he would love to be here. Trust me. Yeah, he'd kill to be here, to be honest. But there's one day I'll get him. I did find out why he was in prison, which was crazy. It was that same day. They just carried a body down those stairs. And you can imagine the frustration to then be handed another body. And you're like, dude, are you serious, right? Like, we just did this, man, All right, that part I made up. But the rest of it's true. Very excited to be back to Saturday Night Live. It's crazy. Crazy. I'm from Nashville, went to, look at us. Yeah, we had a big day today. I went to community college, and it's a big deal. There's community college, a lot of people do not know this, but community college is college when they're like, you're probably staying in your community. So we're going to show you the ropes around town. Kind of give you just a lay of the land. I took all remedial classes. I was there 1 year, 0 credits. I was there the whole time. It's not good. I took speech as a class in college. I drove there with my friends. They were going to real classes. And they'd go like business math or something. I don't even know what a class is called. Because I was like, I'm going to speech. I think I'm a different part of the campus. We stay in the same room and our teachers rotate. How about you guys? I still say a lot of words wrong, too. That's what I don't understand. Like, with speech, like, help me out. I say the word oil, like oil. I don't even know how to, O-I-L, oil, motor oil. Fix that. Southern Community College, this should be mandatory that they fix that. They should write O-I-L on the board and be like, say that. I go, oil. I go, all right, we're going to take care of that. All right. There's a pretty good chance you're going to be working with a lot of that. I just had it where I said it. I was eating a pizza, and on the menu, it said it had extra virgin olive oil on it. So, in my head, and I read it like this. I was like, well, I don't know if I want extra virgin olive oil. So, I don't know if I want any of it, much less... Maybe I don't want, So I go, when it was my turn, I was like, I think I'll take a regular amount of virgin olive oil. And no one really knew what to say to that. I mean, the only reason I know to make fun of it is because my friends go, did you say regular amount of virgin olive oil? I go, yeah, I don't know why they're forcing extra on us. I'm sorry. I don't know a lot about food, all right? First time I had raspberry, 40 years old. 40 years old, first time I had raspberry. I said it at the party. I was like, what is this? And they go, the bowl? That's how much they figured, well, clearly he knows what raspberry is. It makes more sense for him not to know what a bowl is. I didn't see raspberries growing up. I don't come from money, all right? I still swim with my eyes open. I love processed food, I love it. I'm a farm factory table guy. And always have been, DoorDash is what's going to kill me. I mean, I don't know who I think I am. I look at it at night like it's Tinder. Just scrolling through, seeing who's open. Just, hey, Hardee's. The audacity I have when I order it. I mean, I'm just laying there. I'm like, bring me a Blizzard now. I want it right now. Lay it quietly on my porch. Don't let anybody in this house know I'm doing this. It costs $3,000 for this Blizzard. Just go. All right, I'll pay it. I ordered it one night, so I like McDonald's, and so I got a #1 with no onions. And McDonald's, they do have a McFlurry, but they only let you do one size. I don't care for that. So I was going to get a Blizzard, and I double dashed it. So if you don't know, you can double dash it. And double dashing is when you just keep peppering the guy. You're like, what else is open around you? Maybe go see if they got nerds in that gas station. So I ordered it, but for some reason, I thought it was going to be the same guy, but they put it in 2 different drivers, so they separated. Now I'm like watching the GPS, and I'm like, they're going to come at the same time. Like, it's like in my worst nightmare. So, I need one of them to get in a wreck. It happens. I mean, I see them both. They both make the turn at the same time. I'm mortified. The McDonald's comes in, drops it off. Dairy Queen has to let him back out. He was just in the cul-de-sac like I was having construction done in my house at 11 o'clock at night. He just, no, go ahead. So the next time I did this, I figured, you know what? I'll just order it from 2 separate drivers. And that way I'm in control of when they come. So I ordered McDonald's, and then Derek, who was close, ordered Sonic Blast. And then Sonic, the thing was like, do you want to make it a whole meal? And I was like, I guess if it's easier. Probably tax reasons and stuff, it's easier for Sonic. So ordered 2 full meals. McDonald's drops it off at my front door. Take a picture of my door. My front door, I couldn't have picked out of a lineup before DoorDash. Now I have 800 pictures of my front door. I get a picture of the Sonic. It's at a door I do not know. So I had a moment of just like, do I go find it? Do I go get it? And I did. I went, hunted it down. I walked in all the yards in my neighborhood. I was on every Ring doorbell, just like a raccoon, just looking for all this food. All right, we've got a great show for you tonight. Coldplay is here, so stick around. We will be right back. And wives are the ones that keep it together the longest in a relationship. If you see an old married couple, like 80-year-old, they're 80, the wife is just, she's with it. And her husband, where are we at right now? Like our brains fall off a cliff, dude. Like the only reason he's out is because she's like, you better get out and let people see you a little bit. It's like some zookeeper walking some old gorilla around. Let the kids touch you. Everybody's trying to don't feed him now. Well, I think he wants it. He definitely wants it. He's too dumb to know he can't have it. I went to career day for my daughter's school, and I get what I do is very fun. But I was nervous because I'm there with real people, and they're smart. And so I was hoping to sit at a table alone. They put me at a table with a surgeon, which I think they did it on purpose. Almost to show the kids, here's the difference between reading. So the kids come up, and they're like, what subjects do you use for comedy? And I don't even know what the subjects they're taking. I was like, I do English. I do mostly English on stage. They asked him, how long did you go to school to be a surgeon? And he's like 54 years or whatever. It's like And they asked me, they're like, how long to be a comedian? I was like, you're good now, so. Look, finish elementary school, make your parents happy, but then I'd get out and get after it. I do my own laundry. Thanks, thank you. I think that's what it deserves. My mom did my dad's laundry, so I thought all wives do husband's laundry. And I've always done my own. And to be honest, I felt it had been forgotten about over these past 17 years. The sacrifice I was making that other husbands didn't have to make. One day, I was driving home, and it popped in my head, and I was like, all right, I'll bring that up. I didn't bring it up that day, I was like, I'm sure there will be a time where we'll be in some fight, I'll be losing this fight, and then I just come, I'm like, I do my own laundry. She's like, fight's over. You win, I forgot how good I got it. So I sit on it for like 6 months, like a long time. We finally get in a fight. I don't remember what the fight was about. Nothing. I don't know. It wasn't laundry. I remember that. So I'm losing this fight. And so in my head, I'm like, this is it. I mean, I was sad to see it go. That's how good I felt. I felt bad for her. I mean, I was like, she thinks she's winning. I'm about to drop a bomb on her right now. So just out of nowhere, I just go, I do my own laundry. And I mean, I said it like, they don't make them like this no more. I was shocked that it started a second fight I never saw coming. We do laundry very differently. She'll read the labels, I'll wash a rug and a suit together. I don't know. You want to put your shoes in there? Put your shoes. The washing machine's always a foot from the wall when I get done. It's like, that was a lot of stuff you put in there, you know? Like, yeah. And look, it's almost all wet. I've been doing these drive-in shows, these movie theater shows, and my buddy Nick Novicki's been with me, and Nick's a little person, very fun. We started comedy together. It's very fun to be friends with. He very easy to trick. We were once at a coffee shop, and I was sitting near us with a big husky dog, and Nick just goes, "Hey, you think that's a wolf?" And I just said, "Yeah, I do think it's a wolf." They just passed a law that if you can catch a wolf, you can have it as a pet. And he goes, "Should I go ask him about it?" I was like, "I mean, absolutely. You know, I mean, he wants to talk about it. That's why he brought that wolf out here." And I watched him walk over to him and just go, "Excuse me, is that a wolf?" And the guy, I mean, he didn't really know how to answer it. He said, "What? I mean, you think I brought a wild wolf to this coffee shop? And the wolf's just being cool about it? It's not losing its mind right now?" I remember nothing from school. People talk about history to me, and I'm like, I don't know when you guys learned that. I think we skipped all of this. I almost didn't graduate high school. I had an F in science. I was taking a class called science my senior year in high school. I mean, I had an F, and my dad went and talked to the teacher and just said, "Look, just give him a D. He's not going to do science stuff." And the teacher agreed to it. She was that confident I wouldn't touch the science world. We took ACTs, and I got a 17 on it. And if you don't ACTs, I mean, 18 is, they're like, "That's not good, man, but you made it." 17, they're like, are you enrolled in this school? Like, what are you doing? The only thing I remember is in 7th grade, we had a kid fist fight PE teacher. That stuck with me. I mean, he was too old to be in 7th grade. He drove to 7th grade. If you're a 7th grade teacher and one of the kids drives, you just know you got to fight that kid one day. Like, I mean, it's just happening. Like So I am I'm married as well. And me and my wife just celebrated our 14th wedding anniversary. And we've been together for years. And I met her, it was before I ever started comedy. We both worked at Applebee's together, is where we met. We're big fans, we're big Applebee's fans, still to this day. Hold on. Let me just, it feels like, yeah, that's a good one. Are they not all doing the same job? You know, like, and they just be like, "Well, I'm already over here, so you don't got to come over here," you know. That's what it seems like they should do. They should talk more and go, "I'm over here." And he goes, "Oh, okay, I didn't realize you were over." He's like, "Yeah." So don't go, I'll stay over here and you stay over there. That's like our main thing is that we can stay right here, you know? All right. My wife and I, we met at Applebee's. And before I ever started comedy, I was a host and she was a server. And someone asked me, they said, hey, do you think, did you ever imagine when you started dating that life would become all that it's become? And she said, well, when I met him, he was a host, and I didn't think he was smart enough to be a server. So, yeah, we've got a little bit farther than I expected, you know? I told her I want to be a server one day, and she's like, you keep dreaming that dream, all right? I think if you try hard, you can get that menu memorized. What I eat that's the main problem. I eat like a child. It's not good. He goes, let's go through like what you had for breakfast, or your whole day of eating. He goes, let's go through yesterday. And in my head, I'm like, well, yesterday's not a good day, you know. Let's pick another day. He goes, go through yesterday. I go, all right. I had donuts in the morning. And he goes, all right. Was it like they were just out or something? I go, no, I drove to it. I drove to it, and he's like, is it on your way? I go, no, I was late to where I was going because of it. He goes, what about late night snacking? And I was like, well, I had Sour Patch Kids last night. He goes, did you watch a movie? I go, no, just regular TV. And ate only, he's like, the little kid bag? I go, no, it was a bag. It was a bag of them. If you saw it without a label and someone said, hand me that bag, they wouldn't be confused on what you were asking. I always have trouble going to sleep, and I swear every doctor, it's like I eat Sour Patch Kids and have soda, and I'm like, what's going on, man? I can't. Dude, at night, my brain just doesn't stop. And you're like, yeah, dude, you can't eat Sour Patch Kids in bed. Maybe that's a problem. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. It's exciting to be here. Mainly, I'm quitting comedy soon, so I don't want you guys to worry about it. I'll get out. I mean, I can't get out yet, because for one, it's pretty tough to quit something no one knows you do. So there's that hurdle. There's actually no one even to quit to. Even if I wanted to quit, no one cares that I'm doing this. Like, I don't have a boss. I can't just call Cosby and be like, look, I'm out, all right? Here's why I do it. My dad is an entertainer as well. He's a magician. Still is a magician. But just he started as a clown. Like, I don't want to come up here and come off like I come from some rich magic family and I'm better than you guys, all right? He paid his dues, his clown dues. It's weird when your dad's a clown, though. It's weird every day. It made me not like clowns, you know? Like, because have you ever been yelled at by a clown? I have. Yeah. Do you know how confusing that is to get screamed at by a guy that's got a smile painted on his face? You're like, is this good? It's not good. He was a clown until I was about 12 years old. And from experience, I can tell you that's about as long as you want your dad to be a clown. Like when you're 6 and 7, there's some perks. But like when you're 12 and 13, kids at school are like, is he still doing that? You're like, you know what, guys, just off and on, all right? He is almost full-time magic. So let's take it easy, maybe. The fun thing, though, about being a comedian, I like hanging out with my friends. I got a buddy of mine, his name's Luis Gomez, and me and Luis went to McDonald's to eat recently, and we ordered our food, and then we take our food and we sit down at our table. And then Luis went to the bathroom, so he left me alone with his food. So I was like, I'm gonna play a prank on him, you know? So I grabbed his hamburger, I unwrapped it, I took a bite out of it, then I wrapped it back up, I put it back down on his tray. So that's my big prank. Like when he comes back and opens his burger, I'll just be like, dude, did they eat your burger before they gave it to you? That's crazy, right? Is that crazy? It's a ridiculous prank. It's dumb. It's harmless. It should never leave the table. What should happen is Louis should just come back, he should open his burger, and his first reaction should be to look at his best friend he's sitting with, who, by the way, also dabbles in comedy, and just be like, hey, I just wanted to run this by you before I unexpectedly go freak out on this entire McDonald's. That's what I thought would go down. Just a quick, hey, I wanted to see if you touched my food the only time it was out of my sight before I try to fight a group of people that are going to be pretty confused on why they're fighting. But instead, that was the day I learned I'm friends with a lunatic. and a guy comfortable fighting McDonald's employees because he opened his burger and he could not have ignored me quicker. Like, didn't even kind of look, like, looked at him so, he looked like he expected them to do it, like it's happened before. And he's like, again with this? He starts screaming at all. He's like, someone ate my burger? How about I'll fight all of you till I find out who ate my burger? So he gets up, he starts walking towards them. So now I gotta jump in. I can't believe it's working. Like, we have gotten so much farther than I thought we could ever get. I grabbed him, I was like, Lewis, I ate your burger. I ate it, dude. That's insane that you didn't look at me. That's insane. So I get him to sit down, but it's already weird. Like, everybody's like looking at us. It takes like 10 minutes for people to quit filming us with their phones. And that's when it hits me. I started thinking about it. I was like, Lewis, I was like, you're going to get killed one day. I was like, you were about to go fight it. I was like, let's pretend that I'm not here. Let's pretend that someone did eat your burger that worked at this McDonald's. Let's pretend that really happened. You were going to go blindly fight that guy. Not even try to, like, size him up, like, see what he looks like, at least. Do you really think you could beat up a guy that is apparently pretty confident in himself? That he's making burgers, he's then eating them. He's just sending them out to whoever. You don't think that guy's probably the greatest fighter of all time? I honestly think you'd walk to that McDonald's counter and be like, hey, who ate my burger? And all the McDonald's employees would just part ways. Because they know exactly who you're talking about. And in the very back of McDonald's, you see a guy standing there cracking his neck. He's got his fist in the fryer, doesn't even know it, just sitting there, warming his hands. All right, guys, thank you guys so much. Thank you. I travel a lot, obviously. She'll be at home with our daughter. We have a wonderful daughter, as you have seen. And but I know it's hard because she's home and my wife has to be the mom and the dad and the good and the bad parent. And I come home and I'm super fun, or I'll mess up the routine. This is just stuff she tells me. And like, when I go home, I'll go lay in bed with our daughter, and then we get in trouble for talk. I'm not the one talking, by the way, but we get yelled at as if I'm the one talking. I do get it, because I don't think of the consequences with everything. The next morning, dealt with my daughter's generation. She's a generation that I feel like just thinks about themselves, And so I go down to the breakfast. They have the breakfast buffet. So we're all going through it. This little girl's in front of me. And she has waffles. So she gets a waffle, and there's a coffee pot worth of syrup on a plate. So it's like you pour it, and then you leave it back on the plate, and then you go and eat your breakfast. So she gets the syrup, and she just takes it to her table. So now the syrup's gone. And I see this happen, but no one else does. So I'm hearing other people go through, and they're asking where the syrup's at. And it's starting to become a problem. I mean, people are like, where's the syrup? And the hotel's like, I don't know. That's all the syrup we have was out there. I know where it's at, but I'm not trying to get involved, I didn't wake up and just think, I hope I get to talk to everybody this morning. I mean, when you roll out of bed, you're not like, I hope I'm about to get in the thick of it down there. So I'm just trying to say stuff as I walk by people. I'm like, maybe someone took it to the table. Look around, maybe. I just keep going. You see that little girl's table over there? Maybe they have it. And no one's picking up on this, so I have to go get it. And this girl's sitting with a bunch of her friends. So I go over to them. I was like, hey, can we get that syrup back? That's kind of for the entire hotel. And they go, whatever. All of them. Just blew me off. And then the father in me kicks in. I go, all right, well, just a heads up, just so you guys know, I did nothing wrong, and you guys have ruined breakfast for everybody. I don't know if you've ever eaten out in public before, but do you see me over here with a tub of eggs? Do I have all the eggs? You did everything. For some reason, you thought, I bet this is all my syrup. And where are your parents at, A couple of them started crying. Felt good, to be honest. I was away a little bit. I like to practice on other children, my discipline. I've been doing these drive-in shows, these movie theater shows, and my buddy Nick Novicki's been with me, and Nick's a little person, very fun. We started comedy together. It's very fun to be friends with. Very easy to trick. We were once at a coffee shop, and I was sitting near us with a big husky dog, and Nick just goes, hey, you think that's a wolf? And I just said, yeah, I do think it's a wolf. They just passed a law that if you can catch a wolf, you can have it as a pet. And he goes, should I go ask him about it? I was like, I mean, absolutely. You know, I mean, he wants to talk about it. That's why he brought that wolf out here. And I watched him walk over to him and just go, excuse me, is that a wolf? And the guy, I mean, he didn't really know how to answer it. He said, what? I mean, you think I brought a wild wolf to this coffee shop? And the wolf's just being cool about it? It's not losing its mind right now? Our daughter in 3rd grade, and for 1st grade, she started taking the bus. And it was the first time she ever took the bus. So if you know as a parent, you walk a stop, it's very fun. And so we got her on the bus. She went to school. At the end of the school day, someone from the school called my cell phone. They have my cell phone, they have my cell phone. They called my cell phone, and she said, hey, do you know what bus number your daughter's supposed to be on? And I said, I'm her dad. As in, are you crazy? Like, I was like, this is how you thought you would get this information, was to call the dad? You saw a mom and dad's cell phone. You go, I bet the dad knows. I was like, do you have parents? Have you ever seen a family before? You thought, let's call the husband? Unless there's 2 husbands, you should never call a husband a day in your life. I would rather you ask a lady that doesn't. I think she could get to the bottom of it quicker than I can. I had to go get her. I go, all right, I'll come get her. Tell me the name of this school and I'll come get her. Where does she go? So we would go watch my dad. So my dad would do magic. Right next to him, they had a donkey jumping off a high dive into a pool. So pretty hard to keep everybody's attention. When my dad is like, is this your card? And everybody, this donkey's about to jump off this high dive. That's something you don't think you want to see till it's up there. And I use the word jump very loosely. These donkeys are falling off this high dive. But you can't put that on the sign, you know? You don't watch a donkey fall off a high dive? No? Okay. What if he jumped? Well, at least he's into it. So the donkey would go up this ramp like 40 feet in the air, and it would just stand there because it doesn't want to jump. It's not in on this. So, but it gets stuck because donkeys can't walk backwards. Not positive if that is true, but I've never seen a donkey go backwards. I've never even really looked, but I honestly think 45 years I would have seen a couple donkeys go backwards. So the donkey stays there, and he sends a dog up the ramp. It barks at the donkey, and the donkey jumps in the pool. And as someone that has seen this, I'll tell you, when that donkey hits the water, you're like, we should probably get out of here. It's not as fun as you thought it would be. I mean, this is going to sound dumb, but you're really surprised you're seeing what the sign said you would see. PETA got a hold of that. They shut it down, and that was one I think everybody was like, fair enough, we get that. And wives are the ones that keep it together the longest in a relationship. If you see an old married couple, like 80-year-old, they're 80, the wife is just, she's with it, and her husband, where are we at right now? Like I mean, our brains fall off a cliff, dude. Like she's the only reason he's out is because she's like, you better get out and let people see you a little bit. It's like some zookeeper walking some old gorilla around. Let the kids touch you. Everybody's trying to don't feed them that. Well, I think he wants it. He definitely wants it. He's too dumb to know he can't have it. I went to a McDonald's drive-thru and my window did not roll down. That's the universe saying, give it a rest. And I fought through it. It's embarrassing because they can tell, because I had to pull, because I got to open my door. So it's going to hit the speaker, so I got to drive by it. So the car behind me is like, are you leaving? I'm like, my window don't roll down. And I got to open the door. Now the speaker's by the gas tank. So I got to yell my order out. Now that guy hears it. And then I look at McDonald's screen. Well, they got it all on the board. Just let the neighborhood know what I'm ordering. And then I drove by the window, the drive-thru window, and I got to go by it because I got to open my whole door. So I go by it and I see them. They're like, where are you going? And I was like, nowhere. And I go by and they see my whole body sitting in a chair. It's crazy. If you've never done it, it's the most vulnerable I've ever felt in my life. You're just sitting there and you're high. They see your feet. They see your feet. They just throw it at me like a bear. Just throw it. A lot, obviously. She'll be at home with our daughter. We have a wonderful daughter, as you have seen. And but I know it's hard because she's home and my wife has to be the mom and the dad and the good and the bad parent. And I come home and I'm super fun, or I'll mess up the routine. This is just stuff she tells me. And like when I go home, I'll go lay in bed with our daughter and then we get in trouble for talk. I'm not the one talking, by the way, but we get yelled at as if I'm the one talking. I do get it, because I don't think of the consequences with everything. Marriage fights are great because they're all very dumb. I would say 90% of them are dumb. 10% the cops show up. But we got in a fight once over chocolate milk. We didn't talk for 24 hours. What happened is I brought chocolate milk home. And she was like, why did you bring it home? And I was like, you're supposed to drink it after you work out. And she was like, that's not true. And I was like, there's a commercial on TV that probably looked into it more than you did. So I decided to listen to them. And she said, that's just the milk people pushing chocolate milk. And I was like, you don't even know what that statement means. You don't know if there's milk people. And I think chocolate milk's doing fine. I don't think they're sitting on barrels of it. And they're like, we got to make up a lie. We got to get rid of this chocolate milk. She went to college, all right, and I did not. But she did not study chocolate milk. When is it good and not good for you? I'm cold now, too, that I'm old. 45, I just get cold. I always have to bring a jacket. It could be 135 degrees outside, and I will walk around with a jacket. And I see these young people, and I just think, where are your jackets? My body's falling apart. My shoulder hurts because I stand on stage like this. It's crazy. This was a huge mistake to get into this. If I had known that this would be a big problem, I would have probably tried to not make it a habit. My body can't handle this. And I went to the doctor to try to fix it, and they talked to me like I was an old car. He just goes, I wouldn't put any more money into it, to be honest. What you have to do, you have to mail your birth certificate in. Some moms give their children their birth certificates. I've never received mine. I thought I was the proof of my birth. And you gotta mail it in. I've never been a big mailing in guy. I've mailed maybe 4 letters my entire life. I've never done it. Stamps make me nervous because I don't know how many you're supposed to put on. Where they're gonna be like, you should put one more on. And they changed the price of stamps. Not in the news, you know. You don't find that out on Twitter. You have to find out from old people. They're the only people that know. They keep up with it. They're like, stamps went up. You're like, okay. All right. Is it $100? Like, they're furious. They're like, is it $100 a stamp? It's 3 more pennies. I've done pretty good during COVID. Because I feel like you could I lost some weight during COVID. You could go 2 ways. If you wanted to gain weight, this is your time. I mean, everybody's fine with it. You can just do it. But I've been doing all that up until COVID. I've always lived by that rule. So during COVID, I was like, I need to stop. And my neighbor started working out in his driveway. And so he's like, let's work out in my driveway. And, you know, I make a lot of excuses during COVID. You're like, I'm just so busy. You know, I can't. I got a lot of stuff to do today. And he's just out there. So I started doing it with him, and he had a trainer. And I'm not a big fan of working out. Never done it. And I told him, I was like, I just want to do upper body stuff. And they go, all right, well, how about we just do legs every day? That's all it is legs. I think it's a huge conspiracy with trainers that you never actually do your upper body. And when you are doing it, I mean, I asked him, I go, is this upper body? He goes, yeah. I go, yeah, because I'm bending down quite a bit. First, thank you. I can't thank you enough for coming out tonight. It means the world. And I've been this is how I've been closing shows on the road, and I want to close my special with it. I'm assuming that people saw the Netflix, the stand-ups, the little half hour. Thank you. Thank you for watching it. Thank you for coming out. So some stuff's happened since that special, and I want to give you some updates to a couple stories I told on that special. If you haven't seen it, I'll walk you through it. Don't, think you're going to be lost, and I think you've seen what I've talked about. I bet you're like, I bet we'll catch up quick. So the first update is about the Cape Fear Serpentarium. And if you haven't seen it, you could pause it right now and go watch it, but you might be like, I can't handle really much more of you. But if not, I'm gonna walk you through it, or maybe just a reminder. But a very quick, unfunny version is I went to Wilmington, North Carolina, to a guy's house, and he had a bunch of snakes, lizards, and a crocodile. And when I was there, a crocodile got out, and a lady wrote a TripAdvisor review about it. That's the very quick, unfunny version. If you haven't seen it, don't think that's all it takes to get a Netflix special. So the first thing is the lady that wrote the TripAdvisor review messaged me after the special came out. And you write a review on TripAdvisor, you can see how many people look at it, and it jumped 50,000 views the day the special came out. But she did not know this for a couple of days. So, I mean, she was like, I'm crushing it as a reviewer, all right? I swear. I'll bring your place. You better treat me right, Applebee's. I'll bring this whole place down. So, I love doing stand-up comedy. I love it. And the job I had, the last serious job, the job I will go back to when all this falls apart. I was a water meter reader. Thank you. This job the title was the description of what you do. People would ask, I'm a water meter. Yeah, what's that? Let me tell you what it is, all right? We're gonna read water meters. It's 100% of the job. So back when I did it, it was in Wilson County, Mount Juliet, Tennessee. And so back when I did it, I would have to park the truck and like get out of a neighborhood, run through a neighborhood and type in how much water every house uses. So it's 2001. Obviously, 9/11 happened. If you're old enough, you remember when 9/11 happened, the whole country got very scared that there's going to be more attacks. Well, we did as well in Wilson County. We figured they just went to New York, obvious next stop, Mount Juliet, Tennessee. And they are going to poison our town's water. So they got all of us water meter readers to guard the water tanks. I really did this. I stood just in a dark field, alone, waiting for the Taliban to show up. No weapons, no training. They gave us a lantern. A lantern. That does nothing but shows your body as you hold it up. I can't see 2 feet in front of me. If someone's got a gun, just shoot at the only light in that field. I'm gonna put it over my heart to see. I'm like, what's going on? I mean, I think, like, to this day, I always say, what did they want us to do? Call the Mount Juliet police? Osama is here. He got past our lanterns. He's in the water tank. He knew how to open. We were surprised by that, but he knew what he was doing. So I'm 41 years old. And when I turned 40 was the first age I did not want to turn. I remember my parents turning 40, it just feels old. And it's also the age that you do realize everybody you're talking to, you are older than. Before you're 40, I think everybody you talk to is your age. And the reason when you turn 40, you're just older than that person. I'll just be talking to them like, remember that? It's like 97, 98. They go, I wasn't born yet. You're like, golly, are you serious, dude? In my eyes, we look the same. Where's your dad at? Let me talk to him, because I swear I thought you were my age. Crazy. I'm proud of every one of you. All right? Every one of you I'm proud of. It's different. It is great to be here. Very fun to be in New York. I live here, so that's why it's fun. I am from Tennessee, though, originally, and I still have a little bit of an accent, because, like, people hear it, and they always come up, and they're always like, oh, what's up? Where's your accent from? I'm like, Tennessee. They're like, oh, that's cool. I have a cousin that lives in Florida. All right. I don't. Are we just naming states? Is that what's going on? I don't know what. Recently, I was walking in my car, and I had a college kid come up, and he was raising money, for nature, or it was for Earth. It was nature and Earth. I don't know. He used real words, but it was, basically, I felt he looked at me and he's like, it's going to Earth. And I was like, yeah, well, Earth is going through it right now. So he was telling me everything Earth is going through. It's pollution. He said our water's being poisoned. I said, not under my watch, but I understand.